Hello, this is Nathaneal Mohr, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to successfully forecast and avoid the majority of the potential setbacks or challenges you can experience as an entrepreneur. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some tips on what I do to pull as much data as possible out of the challenges that I do experience, so that way I don't repeat them anymore, because I've been guilty of that in the past. So anyways, where we're going to start with is the model entrepreneur, right? The person that's getting the results that we want. And we got to ask ourselves, how do some entrepreneurs get such great results so quickly by not messing up, while others experience a lot of different potential setbacks simply because they don't know what they don't know? And there are the key element to the entrepreneur that makes great decisions, or the three key elements to the entrepreneur that makes great decisions, are that they have a successful model, they have a proven, or they have a model or a map of their business territory that they can move through successfully, right? They have a way to get there. They have an understanding on how to get there. That's step one. Step two is that they bring a high level of focus and awareness to their business activities, and part three to that is that they have a high level or they're very good at being objective, right? So let's start with the map. Let's start by talking about this map, this great map that helps entrepreneurs avoid a lot of the setbacks that so many experience. Now, there's two places to get our map, our own personal success map as an entrepreneur. The first place is, of course, through trial and error, and that's fine. But the other place is also to get our great success map from is also from the success of others, right? Because we live in a really exciting time where it's never been so easy to get to see a business model or business process or get advice around something that we need to accomplish, because the majority of things, there's elements or aspects that we, how do I say this? Whatever it is we're trying to do, be, or have, or achieve, there are elements that have already been proven to be successful in other businesses or processes, right? So what we want to do is we want to get access to those maps. Now, once we have access to a resource that we trust, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we follow it to the T. And the reason we want to follow instructions so specifically is it's kind of like if you were to come to my hometown and you've never been here before, and you decided to call me and ask for directions to a restaurant that maybe we were going to go grab some lunch or something, right? And so I gave you directions. You've never been here before, and you would probably listen very closely, and you would probably take a left when I told you to take a left on a certain street, or whatever the case might be, simply because if you didn't, you'd end up somewhere else, somewhere you didn't want to be, possibly. So that's why it's very important that not only do we find a map, but we follow the map as if it really was, your roadmap to whatever result that you want. Now, once we have that map and we're following it, we got to remember that it's not just what we do, but it's how we do it. So that's why it's so important to bear upon our business activities as much focus as we can, and a much present moment awareness as we can. Because it's kind of another metaphor. So I'm going to give you another metaphor. So it's kind of like if you had that map and you were going through a obstacle course in the woods or something, right, at night, and the more present moment focus and awareness you bring to the activities that you're bringing, the brighter the light would shine behind you, and that's real. So if you didn't put everything you have into it, you might not have enough light to see the fact that there's a big pile of mud in front of you that you need to step around, right? So that's why it's so important not just to have a map, but also bring everything you have to bear upon the activities that are within that map, because the more you do, the brighter your light shines, and the brighter your light shines, the easier it is to see potential pitfalls as well as see opportunities to excel. Now, once we have our map and we bring every bit of focus that we have upon the activities in which we have to engage in to walk through that map, our next step is to have the highest level of being objective as possible. And the reason this is important is because when we are objective, we clear the space we clear out any negative emotional decisions, basically. So I would bet that if you've been in the game for any period of time, or maybe just in your life, have been around at any period of time, you might have entered into a certain fork in the road where you had to make a decision, and because of a negative lower emotion, you made a decision that wasn't of your highest good and didn't bring you to your next level, or didn't bring you to your next level of advancement, right? And so that only happens when we're not present and we're not being objective. And what's really great about that is because there's certain parts of your own personal success map as an entrepreneur that are unique to you simply because of your own personal life journey. And when we are in the moment and we are being objective, it's a lot easier to hear the inner voice that gives us the guidance we need in that moment. So I want to encourage you, of course, to be objective. Now, there are certain times where you just don't know what you don't know, and there's part of the learning process is called making mistakes if you're moving fast enough. And so when you do make a mistake or have a setback, it's important to pull as much information out of it as possible. The way I do that is I journal daily. I ask myself what I could do better in certain situations, and then I ask myself what I'll do next time to prevent a certain type of challenge that I might have. And then what I take is if it's something that I've experienced more than once, or something that's kind of detailed, that's worth passing down to a team member or integrating to as a protocol into my business, I do that to make sure that I don't go around and around and around with the same challenges over again. And that's pretty much how I deal with that. And so I hope that you're able to use the value that's in this video. And I just want you to also know that the biggest value, or the biggest compliment that I can ever get, is that you share these with the people that you care about and that you want to succeed. And also, I'd love to hear from you and your ideas about overcoming challenges underneath this video here. And remember, our businesses only grow as quickly as we do. So make sure you take advantage of the resources here at entrepreneursjourney.com. And other than that, have a really great day. We'll talk to you soon.